wanting to reproduce an object that already exists in the world, so whether it's an engine or a person, you would start with that original object, and then you would scan it to come up with a digital representation of that object that you work with in a CAD program. But in many cases, you might actually be starting with step 2, where you're designing something completely new in that CAD program in 3 dimensions. You then take that object to the slicer software, is what we call it, that drives the printer. And that software will slice that object into layers from bottom to top. And the thinner the layer is, the more detailed the object would be. We'll talk a little bit about the different resolutions that these prints have, and it all has to do with the thickness of each layer. So then the printer takes whatever material it uses, whether it's plastic or paper or powder, and it deposits those layers back one at a time and rebuilds up that object. And this is why we call 3D printing additive manufacturing. And that's in contrast to subtractive manufacturing, which is the more traditional way to make something, where you start with a block of material and you drill and chip and carve away until you're left with a thing. This uses much less material, so there's much less waste, usually much less energy, and in many ways you can create much more complex, intricate type objects. There's a robot here, a purple robot that's actually printed in one piece, but it moves and has joints and all of that type of thing. So this would be really hard to make with subtractive manufacturing. And this just prints in one piece. We're trying to print a small one there. It's the same version. So assembled objects is just one example of how 3D printing has advantages over traditional manufacturing. In many cases, you'll be done at this step, where you just pop the print off and you'll be ready to go. In others, you might have to remove support material. You might have to dunk some of the professional printers. You have to dunk them in a chemical to harden them, things like that. And then you have your finished product. And that product can be sanded or painted, or you can assemble multiple pieces together into a larger object. You go from there. So all 3D printers work